Guys, we have an urgent breaking news coming out. The Gov remains closed after the blue block a clean GOP bill to fund operations for the 13th time. For the 13th time, the blue has shut down the Gov. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Mind-blowing. This is absolutely mind-blowing. It's just insane. It's absolutely insane. This dude just shut it down for the 13th time. Why is Chuck shutting down the Gov? And at the same time, he's blaming Donald. He would have opened it today and millions would have received their benefits. But he shut it down. Now these are the consequences. Congress gridlock comes as several critical deadline approach. These are the consequences now. Tuesday, air traffic controllers missed their first payday. Thank you, Chuck. Friday, the military is set to miss its first full payday. And Saturday, a looming cliff for federal nutrition benefits. Chuck shut down again the Gov, and now all this is gonna hit the fan. I mean, you can't blame Donald. You can't blame Donald. Breaking: the US Senate has rejected the temporary funding bill for the 13th time, with the continuing Appropriations and Extension Act falling short of the 60 vote threshold in a 54-45 vote, extending the ongoing Gov shutdown. As someone say, yet, but the left continue to say that this is the right shutdown when they are the one voting to open the Gov. The left are not, someone said. So give me a second here. I'm just reading some of these comments. Let me just go out. I just pulled up this news article. Let me just read this one here, guys. All right. So the left on Tuesday voted for the 13th time to block a House-passed bill to reopen the Gov, despite a plea this week by the nation's largest federal workers union to end the 28-day shutdown. You know what's going to happen? A lot of people are not going to go for the left anymore. They're going to be like, oh, you guys are just playing too much. I'm not going to go for you, Chuck. I'm not going to go for you people. So, again, this is hurting them. It's hurting them. Even Fetterman is coming out. He's the left. And he's saying this is absolute crazy what they're doing. So even the left is calling out Chuck, and they're saying that this is absolutely crazy. Even the former press secretary, the one from Joe administration, she's coming out. She's saying, I've been backstabbed. So what's going on with the left here? The House passed measure to fund the Gov through November 21st failed by a 54-45 vote. It needed 60 votes to advance. Only 3 members of the left caucus voted to advance the bill. You have Senator Fetterman, Catherine, and August, an independent who caucuses with the left. Now you have the Senate, Chuck, said before the vote that the right need to start negotiating an extension of expiring. See, he's focusing on this here. He's focusing on this, which is basically the illegals, if you kind of think about it, because a lot of them, they receive the free stuff. So Chuck is saying, I ain't gonna open it. All right? So the right need to start negotiating an extension of expiring insurance subsidized in order to bring federal employees back to work. He's not being 100% honest. He's not adding illegals, the name illegal. All right, give me a second here, guys. He noted that the open enrollment period for the insurance marketplace under the Affordable Care Act began on November 1st. Now, the right do not even want to talk about fixing the care. Sleeping Giant citizens are on the brink of the crisis unlike we have seen in our lifetime, he warned. Dude, stop. Dude, stop. You know well that you're referring to illegals, again, all that type of stuff. Now you have Senate Majority Leader John repeated his rebuttal to the left that the GOP leaders will only talk about the looming expiration of the insurance tax credit once the left vote to open the gov. Once again, John quoted a statement by Everett Kelly that the president of the American Federation of Gov Employees, Monday, urging the left to vote for a clean continuing resolution to reopen the gov. Once again, the path forward for Congress is clear. Reopen the gov immediately under a clean continuing resolution that allows continued debate on larger issues. End quote. That is from the president of the American Federation of Gov Employees, a labor union, John said on the Senate floor. So again, you have Chuck is saying, look, we need to figure out the insurance and then I could open the gov. It doesn't work like that, dude. So you're holding Sleeping Giant hostages because you can't get what you want. Again, you can't get what you want. And look, Sleeping Giants are going to have their insurance regardless. There's no way the commander could strip insurance away from Sleeping Giant citizens because Sleeping Giant citizens need insurance. It's just them saying all these baloney stuff. The only one that's going to be stripped from insurance are those that came to the Sleeping Giant illegally. Lawmakers in both parties warned that the SNAP benefits will begin to expire on November 1st and that airports around the country are experiencing more frequent delays because of the strain the shutdown is putting on air traffic controllers. Now, Treasury Secretary Scott warned over the weekend that the administration will not have enough money to cover the paycheck of military service members on November 15. Once again, the Federal Reserve, meanwhile, may be forced to make a critical decision on cutting interest rates at a time when the Gov has stopped collecting and releasing information about the economy, including labor production and export statistic. You know what else is sounding the alarm? You have Walmart. Walmart are sounding the alarm. They're saying that this could hurt their business. This could hurt their business. Walmart is sounding the alarm. You have all these other companies, and even farmers could get hit. All right, this is bad for the economy. It is. Chuck. You shut it down again. And this time is your lucky number 13th. How in the world is someone going to shut the gov 13 times and then blame Donald? Man, you're going to blame Donald for that. Again, you're the one who shut it down. And then blame the Donald for it. It's absolute mind-blowing. Give me a second here. So Americans need to start preparing. Stock up. Get stuff ready. Oh, man. Hold on. Give me a second here. Breaking news. Once again, the Senate blocks military pay again. Chuck. So once again, you have the blue just again voted against a red bill to fund troops and reopen the gov. I want people to read this, all right? The blue just again voted against a red bill. Look at this. To fund troops and reopen the gov. Chuck said no. Those troops need money, Chuck. Those troops are the one protecting our land, Chuck. And you just said no. Why? Because it didn't come with all their favorite extras. It needs 60 votes. The left said nope. Chuck blocked it again and again. He basically speed running how to tank your own party brand. Meanwhile, 800,000 federal workers, including Union of the Blue, are wondering why their paychecks are political footballs. The U.S. commander and the speaker and others say they're not backing down. Ever. Now you guys know Chucky's the boogeyman. But again, I'm not laughing like that, but it just... Oh, hold on. Look at this here. There's a lot of stuff coming out today. Speaker Johnson on Shutdown. Chuck wants millions for global LG project to reopen Gov. I want to highlight this, and I want you guys to see that for just a few seconds. That's what Chuck wants, okay? And Donald is saying no. And so Chuck is saying, well, I keep shutting down the Gov. I keep shutting it down until you guys say yes. So again, this is not Joe administration. This is not Barack. All right, they were doing that type of stuff and feeding the abomination to the entire world. Donald is not with that. So to reopen the federal Gov, Chuck demanded $4 million for the global LG, you know what, awareness campaigns around the world. But why, Chuck? Why? We are not doing that. This is motivated purely out of fear. And what do we mean by that? Give me a second here, guys. So you saw the blue leader in the House, Hakeem, endorse the abomination man that is going to run the Rotten City for mayor on Friday. It was an illustration of what we're facing here. Once again, the blue right now fear that the blue right now fear that the far blue activists more than they fear air traffic controllers, border patrol agents, American service members, and so many other missing their paycheck. They know who's responsible. They know that it's Chuck. Give me a second here, guys. I'm still looking for some more information here. Ooh, hold on. Someone is not pleased. Someone is not pleased. National Air Traffic Controller Association President Nick said that the message is simple. End the shutdown today. There is no excuse that these hardworking men and women are showing up to this job and to not ever know when they're going to get paid. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but Chuck just shut it down. Chuck shut it down.
Day in and day out, that's now the life of an air traffic controller. The people tasked with making the impossible possible are having it made impossible by not paying them again. So the message is simple. In the shutdown today, there is no excuse that these hardworking men and women are showing up to do this job and to not ever know when they're going to get paid again. So we We need America's help. We need you to stand up, and we need you to say, enough is enough in this shutdown, and ensure that we can move this forward, because we do not want to be up here telling you the sad stories. We want to be up here telling you how we're moving this system forward, how we're bringing in more air traffic controllers than ever, how we're modernizing this system to, serve the American people. So, again, you cannot stress enough. If you want to take action, contact your congressional representative and tell them in the shutdown today. Day in, day out.
I feel bad for these people. I do. I do. I feel bad for everyone. I do. Because everybody, again, all the sleeping giant citizens are being held hostage. And you guys already know. Boom. Now, people in the comments box are saying, why you keep blaming the left? Because they the one who shut it down. I mean, who you want me to blame? The air? I mean, it's the 13th time. The blue block bill to reopen Gov. Even Fetterman is fed up with Chuck. Some of the left are fed up. They're telling Chuck, man, stop it already, man. Chuck is saying, no, I want to take care of my millions that came into the sleeping giant illegally, and I want to support my abomination throughout the entire world. We are seeing it, we are living it, we are witnessing Bible prophecy happening right in front of our faces. I got some more videos coming up, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and thank you again for your support. Till next time later, peace.